So if we look at the tail of the tape with these two men, there is a distinct height difference here, with the Freakshow towering over Masse. He also has twice the experience of his French opponent with 23 outings and huge hometown advantage. But Dizy has hit a rich vein of form and sees Fletcher as just another name to add to his win column. Can the Clown Prince make a triumphant return to BAMMA, or will Masse turn the Freakshow into a sideshow? We turn to our very own Master of Ceremonies, Buddy Johnson, to get this show on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. A very warm welcome to you all from the Metro Arena in Newcastle. We are live on ITV4. And now, inside the cage, we are set for 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first in the blue corner, he stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing officially at 154.4 pounds. A professional record of 10 wins, just 2 defeats, representing MMA Factory from Paris, France, Anthony Masse Dizy. And his opponent in the red corner, he stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighing officially at 159 pounds. A professional fighting record, 15 wins, 8 defeats, representing Unity Gym and Spartan Gym from Sunderland, Northeast England, Colin Freakshow Fletcher. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. Rich Mitchell.
So Chris, this all hinges for me on how Dizy deals with that huge height difference with a man that knows how to use it in the Freakshow, Colin Fletcher.
Sunderland's own Colin Freakshow Fletcher, to the roar of the fans here in Newcastle. What a return here to the promotion, but a very tough test. Masse extremely dangerous on the floor. Boxing to back it up as well. The big question is, Malcolm, how is the Frenchman going to address that reach disadvantage?
Well, there's two things here, Chris, that we mentioned before. Is Fletcher is known for his immense submission skills, but he's a really good upright fighter as well.
Nice patience here from Fletcher. Southpaw for Fletcher, back to orthodox. Constant sort of that stance swapping, that switch hitting. Level change from Dizy, straight to the wrestling.
Now, Fletcher saw that, and one of the things we were discussing about Dizy is the way he comes in straight lines at you. Very orthodox boxer, and tries to use the punches to set up the takedown, and he's got him in trouble here initially, Chris.
Freakshow has got really great jiu-jitsu off his back, so the top control of Dizy against the ground game here in this position of Fletcher is an intriguing sort of aspect of MMA. Right now, Fletcher trying to work his hips up, and he's got that grip now on the right arm of Dizy. He can work a couple of locks from here. Right now, trying to hit that Americana, tough to do when Dizy's in this position, but Fletcher will continue to maneuver and try to open something up. He takes risks. He's an exciting crowd pleaser.
This is one of the things we also said about Dizy as well, is he's very good upright. He's very knowledgeable that way, but he really comes into his own on the ground, Chris, and he's almost a different fighter.
You can see right now he's really trying to ride Fletcher hard, put his weight down on him, but the active guard, the fighting off his back from Fletcher, has now allowed him to recover full guard. He's got his legs wrapped around Dizy now, which is an offensive position, make no mistake about it.
Yes, and Fletcher, we were talking to him earlier, and he really has a new passion for the sport again, Chris. He's had injury problems in the past. He's come back, he's on a 2-fight win streak, and says, I'm really hungry again. And this is like his spiritual home here at BAMMA.
Dizy right now trying to work the pass in half guard. He's halfway out of those locked up legs of Fletcher. But Fletcher has submitted 2/3 of his opponents in the win column, so make no mistake, Dizy studied that and is gonna mine every detail here.
That's right, 10 big submission wins for Fletcher. But Dizy, one of the things we saw when we were researching him is the speed of his transitions as well, Chris.
Yeah, he's really aggressive. Not always the most technical, but he's got that sort of tenacious, really kind of aggressive come forward pressure. He never stops working. Right now, he's not letting Fletcher rest, which is a good thing.
Yes, Fletcher, as we said, on the comeback trail, here his spiritual home. But Dizy, we had a feeling, you mentioned to me before, and when we were discussing how this might go, is the fact that Dizy on that win streak because he is such a pressure fighter.
He's got the cardio to back it up as up. 120 seconds to go here at Newcastle.
So, Chris, we are inside the last 2 minutes of the first round. We heard the response for the Freak Show. Huge fan base here, but they won't be too happy the way this gone. I know he is very comfortable off his back, but Dizy's done what we thought he'd do. Pressure, 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 constantly.
And he survived a couple of early scares. He hasn't been able to completely pass the guard again like he had Fletcher in side control earlier, but it's been a good, patient, calculated performance. As well, Fletcher doing well to survive any sort of ground and pound or impact here from some of the short punches from Dizy. There we go, the guard pass from Dizy. Side control, north-south. Fletcher walks off the fence.
And constant movement from both men, as we expected. And we said the shapes might play a huge part here. And this is one of the advantages Fletcher's got when he's in defensive mode, isn't it? Those long, long limbs, Chris.
He's working constantly. Again, trying to recover guard here. Just under a minute on the clock.
And it's been a minute of frustration coming up for the fans from Newcastle, who expected a big, big start from the Freak Show Fletcher, but it doesn't always work that way, Chris. And Dizy, as you said, has done his homework, and he's done it well.
He's done what he needed to do. Slow Freak Show down, get on top, avoid the submission attacks, take the fight, but be patient.
Now, as much as we know how comfortable the Freak Show is off his back, when we're looking at the judges as we go into the last 30 seconds of this opening round, I feel that if we get to the end of it, they will go with that aggressive style of the Frenchman.
As well as the top control, he's managed to pass guard now 2 times, once off that takedown, the second just a moment ago. The judges are looking right now on this sort of round scoring. Where is the action taking place? Striking or grappling? Well, in this case, it's been mostly grappling. Who's been more effective? Who's been, sort of pressing the action more and getting more towards those positions where they can finish the fight? Right now, for me, that's Dizy. Solid round here for both guys, but should be one to the good for the Frenchman.
Now, Chris, for me, what can Colin Fletcher do in the second round there? Because we knew what Dizy would do. You called it. He comes in, he uses those strikes. They're not the most effective, but he's got one thing in mind to take you down, and he did manage it.
Well, Colin has the jiu-jitsu to survive and, of course, submit off his back, but when you command the reach and the distance control that you can utilize with those natural physical gifts of that height and reach advantage, you want to kickbox, you want to be on the outside. So what Colin wants to do, and he's no doubt getting some advice here in his corner about just this, is use the middle of the ring, keep your back to space, stay off the fence, do not allow Dizy to get in, pressure him up against the wire, and then level change and take him down.
When Dizy comes in, one of the things that will favour Fletcher, as we saw, he comes in that straight line, and although he got exactly where he wanted to, there was one moment there where he almost got caught by the Fletcher uppercut. That's always going to be a danger, but you said the Frenchman takes risks. That's what's so exciting about it.
So Colin no doubt read that. We'll see what happens next. 2 of 3.
So now, Chris, with this huge hometown support, he'll know he's a round down. He's really got to turn this around now here in the second, hasn't he?
I had that 10-9 for Masse. Anthony Dizy now going to try to probably get back to what won him that first frame. And you can already see the Freak Show starting to use that Muay Thai.
Yes, and there was a left-right combination as Dizy came in. Oh, Dizy knows where his tall opponent is. The bolo punch is a good punch from the shorter man because you know where the head of your opponent's going to be, Chris.
Nice knee from Colin. He caught Dizy coming in a straight line. You called it, Malcolm.
And as you said as well, this is what Colin's looking to do. This is what he wanted to avoid. This is what he's trying to do. But Dizy, as we said, he's a different man when he goes to ground. He's like a little terrier.
Head inside single here for Dizy. Trying to swap up to the double leg. He's going to grab behind the knees, lock those hands together, flare the legs to the side, get that takedown. And pass in doing so. What Dizy has done well is he's actually cleared the legs of Fletcher, now pinning the shoulders as well as the hips, isolating him here in side control.
In those terms, there doesn't seem to be a plan B. He's relentless. He knows what he wants to do. He was willing to take those shots from Colin Fletcher to get exactly where he wants to be. And it's early in the round again. He does it early and he stays there. His cardio is good as well, Chris.
Side control here. Dizy doing a great job with shoulder pressure, swaps to north-south. Both fighters in opposite positions. Up go the legs from Fletcher. He's going to look for something here, but Dizy has been really difficult to deal with in these positions. Fletcher went for a couple of subs in round one, but couldn't quite convert.
Now, he won't be panicking because I want to reiterate what you said before. He will be comfortable on his back. He will have drilled many times on his back like this. But he has to start changing this around for these hometown fans, doesn't he?
It's not enough to be able to recover and defend in this position. He's got to really get some offense going. And it is an offensive position, make no mistake about it, but the smothering pressure of Anthony Dizy has been exceptional.
And now the chopping little downward elbows that are beginning to take effect. And the chopping again, and as I said before, he's relentless in nature. He never stops, he's constantly asking questions. And twice, in key moments, he's got where he needed to be.
Colin tried to grapevine in there with that lockdown. You'll see him actually go ankle to ankle to ankle. He'll get both ankles sort of crossed like this. He'll extend that left leg out and then try to lock up one of Dizy's ankles. He'll use that to try to manipulate, either work for sweeps or, of course, submissions. But Dizy knows this, slides a little bit higher than his control. There we go, ankle to ankle to ankle. You see that? And that's a good control position for Colin to either try to recover a better version of guard or to reverse the position. There we go, full guard. Body triangle here for Fletcher.
Now, the thing for Fletcher here, I want to pick up on something you and I were discussing when we were so fascinated by this bout. Cardio of the two men. You mentioned the fact that when we were looking at Colin's wins, they come earlier in the bout, and you said if there's a problem for him, a danger for him, it's the longer the bout goes on. Elaborate on that, Chris.
You can see world champion there a moment ago, Alex Lahore, who will fight again in BAMMA in London. Oh no, up go the legs from Fletcher. Never mind the corner advice. He's going to look for an armbar here, Malcolm.
Yeah, it's a big turnaround for Colin. Just as I was hinting that maybe he struggles as the bout gets further along, suddenly he bursts into life, Chris.
But Dizy, listening to his corner, shrugging those legs to the side. That was good, that was better from Colin, but it's not going to be enough to keep throwing these things up.
Well, we're approaching again the last minute of the round, and you've got to admire the tenacity of Dizy, the Frenchman. And again, we've said here, nothing is made easy for our local BAMMA heroes because the French invasion is so good, and we've been really impressed by everybody that's fought in BAMMA from France so far.
Yeah, it says a lot about the level of talent in that country. Mixed martial arts in the process of being recognized slowly over time. So BAMMA doing a great job of giving these guys an outstanding platform. And again, to face top-level competition like Colin Fletcher, sometimes when guys are this good in this department, their skills cancel each other out. The top control of Dizy versus some of the sort of slightly offensive and, of course, good defensive groundwork from the bottom from Fletcher. Both guys kind of cancel each other out here. Up go the legs again for Colin.
And you hear the crowd respond, Chris, to this. They're looking to respond to anything he does at the moment because they know Dizy has been quite confident in the way he's treated him.
Side control again, a little bit of shoulder pressure there from Dizy. He's really doing just enough to stay active here. The referee will be watching this. If he doesn't work to constantly improve or try to finish the fight, he'll stand him up, but Dizy doing just enough here for me.
Yes, and we are 2 rounds down with potentially 1 to go. And I've got to say, tough times for the Freakshow here. I've got the Frenchman 2 ahead, Chris.
Well, it was another dominant round by Dizy. Malcolm, let's take a look back at some of how things transpired. There we go, overhand right from Dizy. And the old saying that you got to punch your way inside is really epitomized just there. At a reach disadvantage, Fletcher looking for that knee. And then Dizy held on to that head inside single. Fletcher trying to jump there and catch him cold, but straight up to the fence. The cage is your friend here. Dizy swaps to the double, gets the pickup, lifts him, sucks his hips away, and then passes the guard. Just great wrestling for MMA. It's not the most spectacular or exciting stuff, but it's effective and it's round winning.
Well, you mentioned that. One of the key phrases you used, which I think absolutely sums up this bout, and Dizy is smothering, Chris. You mentioned the smothering nature of those 2 rounds from him.
In the cardio to keep that up.
Now, if there's any joy for the Freakshow here, it's that twice he came close in the first round with the uppercut, the second round when Dizy went with that right knee. There is still hope for him, but he's got to do something really big in this round, Chris. It's as simple as that. He really has to go for it in this round.
He's standing tall. He's looking to fight long here. This is what he needed to do, but he's got to make sure he keeps his back to the middle of the ring here. Dizy's taken him now twice, rounds 1 and 2, down off the wire.
And surely Colin will know how Dizy will try that. He's been very predictable, but he's had success. Both times, straight line, straight in, throw those punches, then go for the leg.
Dizy backing off, actually playing passive a little bit there, just to try to get a hold of him. He knows what's up as well, that's the thing, you know. Both guys have really studied each other. They've been around for a while. Colin's got more of a reputation this year in the UK, but Dizy is a very good fighter.
Colin needs that in and out movement, Chris. He needs to keep this upright just like that. Dizy, as we said, he's an okay boxer, but I don't think he's in the same class upright as Colin. Here we go again, the double leg. This time Colin's paused. He needs to bring it back upright. You hear the crowd trying to get behind him. I feel, Chris, if Dizy gets this again and takes him down, it'll be that smothering tactic for a 3-round shutout if he can get it.
Colin was trying to spread his base there, but I think he's exhausted, Malcolm. It's also worth noting that he hit a 155-pound weight limit yesterday on the scale. He exceeded that by 4 pounds, so he was overweight, maybe had a tough weight cut. That can affect your oxygen. And of course, he maybe had an injury, which would be why he maybe wasn't able to cut that weight. So how much gas is in the tank, only Colin knows, but to me, he's looking a little bit tired here in the third.
And Dizy will capitalize on that. This plan is suiting him down to the ground here. You've heard very little from the French camp. They're beside us there. They're more than happy with the way this is going, Chris. That says it all to me.
Again, good pressure here from Dizy. What he does so well is he constantly controls all 4 corners of Colin. Look at this, he's gonna try to pin the hips again as Colin walks up, utilizing his head, controlling both shoulders. You gotta flatten your man out. And Colin's trying to walk up the fence here and create a technical escape. There's reason to the rhyme. Dizy knows this, will continue to walk around him and smother him.
Yes, that is the term that we will remember from this bout, the smothering. But now, as we approach the halfway point of the final round, with Colin 2 rounds down, wanting that fairy tale finish for the crowd, he's got to get that sub now, Chris.
Nice punches here from Dizy. Knee on belly for Dizy. Colin able to cage walk. Out the back door. But look at Dizy here. He's just always where he needs to be. Yeah, he got caught up in full guard, but he's maintained top position. That's what's winning him this fight right now.
It seems to me, Chris, that Colin has no answer to the mobility of the more compact man, his transitions, his movements, and he's kept him thinking the whole time. Again, he's just smothered the life out of him.
Easy pass there from Dizy. Fletcher's got to dig deep, Malcolm. Not much time left. He needs a finish. I've got a clean sweep right now for the Parisian.
This is what Colin the Freakshow Fletcher is facing. He's got to do something out of the ordinary here. He's got to use those longs. And as we say that, Chris, an attempt there from Colin. And the crowd respond instantly. Any moment he tries to get a submission on.
And this just shows you the technical brilliance of being a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter. He's tired right now, 3 rounds deep in a fight. He's obviously struggling in the cardio department, but when your technique is that good, you don't need a ton of strength. His ability of working throughout, a fight. Look at this, he's smiling at us in the commentary position, listening to us here talk about the merits of BJJ.
He's actually talking to us as well now, Chris. This is what everybody says. Nobody's got a bad word about this man. What a character. And the entertainer in him still going strong under such pressure. But when you look at the other side of the coin, what a job done by Dizy. He's done everything right. He's done what he's needed to. May not be pretty for the crowd, but he's silenced them overall, and he's done a very tough job here with incredible cardio, incredible transitions.
Credit to Fletcher, though. He's tied up Dizy. He's avoided any significant damage. Oh, he's getting upset here. He says, let's go. 30 seconds to go on the clock here at Newcastle. Freakshow trying to drag Dizy into a brawl.
And what does he do? He brings the crowd to fever pitch again. This is what he does well. But again, you hear the crowd's response, but this is great tactics from the Frenchman. They wanted it upright. They got right behind their man, and Dizy said, I'm having none of that.
Colin getting his back, trying to scramble, and he does. See, this is what I'm talking about. BJJ is such an effective fighting technique against a wrestler. Dizy's not been able to really land a ton of significant strikes on Fletcher. Yeah, he's controlled him, but he's not been in any danger of stopping him.
The crowd very frustrated. I imagine the Freakshow Colin Fletcher very frustrated. But if you look at this very bluntly, Chris, a 3-round shutout with a man with a game plan that he executed to perfection.
Colin Fletcher Anthony Dizy go the distance here in Newcastle. But the Frenchman, look at that, not breathing hard. We talked about his cardio. We talked about his conditioning. That's one of the things that wins this guy fights. I think he'll be 10-2, gone 11-2. Should be another win here.
So Chris, on the other side of the coin, Colin Fletcher, he'll be frustrated. He never got really into this bout, to be honest, did he?
And he was unable to really get those submission game going. Yeah, he recovered guard, he neutralized Dizy, but I think he got tired. I think he maybe underestimated a couple of things. Only he knows. Colin's been there, done that. He's fought all over the world. Credit to both guys, but it should be Dizy who walks away with the W.
I agree with you, and there were just moments there when Dizy came in where Colin in the first round had the uppercut that just missed, the knee that just missed in the second. Now, Buddy Johnson, our MC, is coming past us. He's going to make the official announcement very shortly, but we'll be totally shocked if it's not a shutout for the Frenchman. Not what the crowd want to see, but tactically, you couldn't fault him, could you? So here we go, Buddy to announce it.
Here's Buddy Johnson with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the cage, this bout goes the distance over 3 rounds. And we go to your judges' scorecards. Judge David Leatherby scores about 30-26. Kev Cable scores about 30-26. And Ben Cartledge scores about 30-27. Declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Anthony Masse Dizy.